What is going on, guys? It's Cameron, and today I am bringing you the review for Web Warriors issue 3, and the Electros of the multiverse continue to wreak havoc across the dimensions, bringing huge problems to the Spider-Man. And we're going to see that unfold further throughout the comic, but as for what happened in the previous issue, we saw Spider-Gwen end up in space on what looked to be the moon. I can't quite remember exactly, but she did confront the leader, who was the massive electric surge of energy right in front of her as the issue ended, and that person is the leader of all the Electros. You know, the super smart Max Dillon? Yeah, that's him. Now, right before we get into this issue, guys, I just want to let you know about the Secret Wars issue 9 giveaway that I'm doing. You can click the top right corner of the screen now to check out that video and enter the giveaway. But without further ado, guys, let's jump into this review and let's get right on into it. So as the issue opens up, you can see that Khan is right off the bat thrown into the issue, and this was a massive surprise for me because we haven't seen Khan genuinely speak in a comic and have a conversation since the Spider-Verse last year. Like, sure, he's been in a few comics and he's said a few lines, but we've never actually got some insight into how he's doing, like, as a character. So we learned that he's starting to struggle a little bit with dealing with the hunger of feeding on the totems of Spider-Man. And in case any of you guys don't know who Khan is and, like, what that's all about, you'll have to check out my reviews of the entire Spider-Verse event, so I'll probably link that in the top right corner of the screen now or something. But pretty much what happened in the Spider-Verse event was there was a family of inheritors who were traveling the multiverse, killing every single alternate Spider-Man. And so, like, hundreds of alternate versions of Spider-Man teamed up across alternate universes to take down this family of inheritors. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but Khan, who is the Master Weaver, actually has something to do with that. So yeah, I'd probably say that was one of the greatest Spider-Man story events of Spider-Man comic history. So if you're a true Spider-Man fan, you definitely need to check it out. It is so good. Anyway, back to the comic at hand. I'm getting a little bit carried away. I absolutely love the conversation at the beginning of the comic between what the heck is Anya and Khan, because I don't know why, but it's the first time in a while where it actually seemed like Khan was also a human being. Even though he kind of is, you kind of just think about him as some Master Weaver, like a god, and you forget that he has vulnerabilities as well. Now, of course, this far into the review, you've probably already noticed a bunch of Electros infiltrate the homeworld of the Spider-Man known as Loom World, and Anya getting taken down. And I don't know what it was, but when I was reading that page where Anya got taken down and you saw Khan jump down from the spider web and stand over Anya as if he was protecting her, you know that's a huge thing for Khan to do, especially if you know where he came from. So it really seems like he's looking out and cares for these Spider-Men, and that's just awesome to see. So moving on through the comic, we flip the page on over to Spider-Gwen, who's at the home world or the home dimension in space of the leader Battery, who was originally the smartest Max Dillon out of all of them, and we discover that using alternate versions of Dr. Octopus's to come together, he's managed to put like thousands of Electro's brains into his own and combine them to pretty much make him an Electro god. And this actually makes me wonder, because he's merged thousands of Max Dillon's minds, wouldn't that make him a little bit dumber? Now obviously I'm not saying Max Dillon is dumb, but this guy is smarter than all of them, so imagine having all of those less intelligent Max Dillons put into yourself. That would surely decrease your intelligence, and I think it kind of shines through here when he didn't think that the windows were meteorite bulletproof. Like, surely that would be the first thing you think of when meteors are coming towards you. And so that's where I think the boss Electro, the Battery, dropped the ball. Now, as for the art style for this comic, I'm not too sure whether it's a different artist. I don't know what it is, but it seems a little bit flat this time. Like in the previous issue and the previous issue before that, the art style seemed to really pop out at you. And this time, sometimes it looks good and sometimes it kind of like it looks a little bit flat. Like for instance, this page right here that we're seeing on screen. This page that's on screen right now, it kind of looks a little bit flat compared to the very 3D-ness of the previous artworks from the previous issues. And I don't know, it was something that I noticed almost straight away as soon as I opened the comic. Now, I don't know whether it's a different artist. I'll probably have to check that after I've finished this review. Actually, what do you guys think about it? Let me know. So, as I said at the beginning of the issue, I love how involved Khan is in this issue. He seems to be like a side yet a centerpiece to the story, especially now that he was the only person who could open a portal to escape from all these Electros, and they land in none other than the only universe where the Electros cannot go, and it's surprisingly to Lady Spider's universe. Now, some of you guys might not know who she is, but she's actually from the Spider-Verse event, which I've told you to check out on my channel. She's so awesome, and in case you guys don't know, her universe does not have electricity. It's kind of set in Victorian times, but it's like not as well. It very much reminds me of the Dishonored game that came out a few years ago. You know, like where it's kind of set in Victorian times, yet they have like modern day technology kind of. It's very reminiscent of that, and you can even tell just by Lady Spider's costume. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would love it if they brought out a Lady Spider comic series. It would be so interesting to read. Now very quickly, as we come to the final few pages of the comic, one thing that I didn't mention was how this original Electro, the Electro that started all this alternate universe jumping and all that craziness, I thought it was brilliant how he wasn't left out of the issue. Because in the previous issue, Spider-Gwen knocked him out, and I like how they didn't just leave him knocked out on the floor, they actually remembered him and brought him back into the story to continue it into the next issue. And as you saw there towards the end, Spider-Gwen actually goes to Mayday's house with Electro, and you guys who haven't read the Spider-Verse, you won't know about where this Uncle Ben comes from. He comes from a universe that was destroyed by radioactivity caused by Dr. Octopus from his universe, and it happened because Uncle Ben was too scared to stop Dr. Octopus. So yes, Uncle Ben was the Spider-Man in his universe, and he was too scared to stop Dr. Octopus, so he locked himself up and let the world burn. However, that's the first time we've ever seen Uncle Ben phase through somebody. We did not know that he could do that from the Spider-Verse, so that's a new power that we've just seen right there, and that seems pretty awesome. But anyway guys, that is the end of the issue. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to let me know what you thought of the art style. And of course, don't forget about the giveaway that I'm doing for Secret Wars issue 9. You can click the top right corner of the screen, well, the little eye thing anyway, and click that video to go enter the giveaway. Now, as for the scoring for this comic, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I loved it how Khan was involved into the story a little bit more, and I hope that continues in the future issues. It almost feels like this is continuing from the Spider-Verse event, and that's really interesting that a comic series can do that even though the Spider-Verse event was a year ago. Like, that's pretty crazy. Now, as for the art style, I feel like that brought it down from a 9 a little bit. Obviously, the art style isn't everything, but I just feel like it changed so much since the previous issue. It went a little bit more flat to me. It wasn't as poppy-outy, like it wasn't as 3D-ish, like the characters weren't drawn as in detail. But maybe that's just because of the amount of characters on the screen or something, I'm not too sure. But it's not that big of a thing, so yeah, I'm not going to make a big deal of it. But as always, I'm looking forward to the next issue, and I cannot wait for it to release. But in the meantime, guys, check out my Facebook page. Marvel just revealed a Dead No More teaser, and there's a few theories going around the internet that it's Ultimate Spider-Man or Wolverine or Jean Grey that's coming back from the dead in 2016. So go on my Facebook page to check that out. And of course, I actually released an early preview of the upcoming Miles Morales Spider-Man series that releases next month on my Facebook page as well, so go check that out. Now, as for staying up to date on my videos on what I'm reviewing, whether I'm having any problems, and when a video is being uploaded, you can follow me on Twitter. And last but not least, guys, hit the subscribe button for more, hit the like button on this video, and I will see you all next time.